is my age. I'm in the prime of my youth, and I'll only be young once.
Yeah, but you're gonna be stupid for the rest of your life.
The world shares things with me that I couldn't possibly experience by myself. Things that are far beyond what's right in front of me.
They're leaving Middle Earth. We don't know why. It makes me sad.
The first 7 years of my life I lived out in the countryside in a place called Edsbyn. It's like a bit north of the country. Very snowy winters, at least that's how I remember. I really like warm summers. But we went out like walking around in the woods, just getting lost basically.
Pokémon and Attack on Titan are two franchises that, at first glance, seem radically different from one another. However, besides both being Japanese, the two franchises share one major similarity that is easy to overlook, and that is that they were both born out of a child's connection to nature. The idea for Pokémon was conceived through Satoshi Tajiri's nostalgic memories of catching bugs in the woods, something he was so passionate about as a kid that he'd earned himself the nickname Dr. Bug. With Japan's rapid urbanization and the deforestation of his hometown, Tajiri longed to make a game that encapsulated that adventurous spirit of his childhood. Similarly, Hajime Isayama spent his childhood on a farm, and he became obsessed with the cruel reality of living creatures eating each other. In addition, he grew up surrounded by the looming mountains of Hita, mountains like huge walls caging him in and stripping him of his freedom. Knowing this, it's no coincidence that the theme of childhood is so central to both the story of Attack on Titan as well as Pokémon as a whole. There's an argument that there's a connection between a child's immersion in nature and their creativity. An argument that researchers like Ellen Sandseeder, Peter Gray, and Angela Hanscom have centered their life's work around. And, as someone who spent half their childhood immersed in nature, and the other half indulging in media like Pokémon or Attack on Titan or whatever else I'm about to mention in this video, I feel this argument deeply. The movie Stand By Me follows a group of kids going on a journey through woods and over train tracks, immersing you deeply in that profound closeness of boyhood friendships you can only ever experience in the innocence of childhood. Boys laughing together, singing together, sharing a physical bond as well as an emotional one, crying unabashedly and consoling each other. The purpose of their journey, however, is to find the body of a kid their age who was allegedly hit by a train and died. The adventure starts with enthusiasm and excitement, but over the course of the journey, the boys share a creeping realization that there is something very melancholic about this journey. By the time the kids find the corpse of the kid who was once their peer, their adventure has lost all its fun and whimsical spirit, and a darker mood falls over the group. The dead kid is a representation for the loss of childhood, slowly creeping into the boys, and regardless of the kids' awareness of it, they know they can't stop it. They wish their friendship could stay like this forever, but they also know it's just not realistic. However slowly, everything is always ending, and the kids know it. On the surface, Stand By Me is a movie about the inevitable brutal end of childhood and the inimitable friendships we've lost along the journey of growing up. But personally, I think it's also a movie about children's interaction with and connection to nature. Obviously, the movie takes place during summer, representative of the summer of childhood, but it's not just that. The summer in Stand By Me quite literally sheds an incredibly beautiful light on the nature these kids traverse, and in a way, that aspect of summer creates a thematic as well as aesthetical bridge between childhood and nature. I am in love with this movie's portrayal of nature. It's depicted as so much bigger than these kids, as if to accentuate the length, grandeur, and importance of their journey. In a lot of the shots, the kids are truly dwarfed by nature, and you get the sense that they're just a part of the whole. not out of place, but a part of it, like they're supposed to be there, like they belong in nature. In this way, the movie Stand By Me presents a triangular sort of connection between the elements of summer, nature, and childhood. Summer and nature being connected through aesthetics, childhood and summer being connected through metaphor, and childhood and nature being connected through challenge. What I mean by that is that nature is the thing the kids have to overcome to pursue their goal. It's not just having to find food for themselves or making a fire, it's having to cross the river and getting chased by a train, or having to cross a lake and getting covered in leeches. More than a challenge, nature often poses an actual danger to the kids. The movie Stand By Me presents nature as something both life-threateningly dangerous as well as something beautiful and profoundly inspiring. In truth, it highlights the importance of unrestricted, risky play. Now, what does risky play actually mean? It means that, say I'm a kid, and I want to play in this here forest. Then I could grab a stick or climb a tree, and there would be no one to tell me no. However, that stick might have pointy ends that I could cut myself on, the same way I could fall out of a tree and break a bone. Now, that wouldn't happen to me, because I'm really fucking good at climbing trees, but say that it would. Then obviously next time I'm going tree climbing, I'm gonna be more careful with my footing, because now I know how much it hurts to fall out of a tree. The same way I'd look for sticks that are less pointy if I'd cut myself on a stick before. Risky play is incredibly important for developing kids' confidence, independence, emotional resilience, and creativity. Tracing this back to Stand By Me, I think it's really interesting that there's an emphasis on Gordy being a creative child, specifically a writer. However, the movie doesn't seem to make any sort of connection between the theme of nature and Gordy's creativity as a writer. So, while the element of creativity is definitely present, it lies outside of the thematic triangle of nature, childhood, and summer. Instead, the movie chooses to focus solely on that element of danger that comes with children's interaction with nature. The kids are constantly surrounded by trees and grass and water, and they have no choice but to interact with it. If they want to reach where they're going, they're gonna have to cross those hurdles of nature's making and bear the scratches and marks that come with that. It's they who have to adapt to the nature around them, a nature that, while sustaining and shaping them, is wholly indifferent to their lives. I'm not gonna spend too much time on this, because it doesn't really fit into the predominantly green aesthetic of this video, but Scavenger's Reign is a TV show about a group of space travelers who are stranded on an alien planet and are trying to find their way to the crash site of the mothership that brought them there, the Demeter. All of the characters are scattered across different areas of the planet because they all flew off in escape pods during the crash. This means they all have little to no resources to sustain themselves, nor gear to protect themselves. This proves perilous, not just because they're stranded, but because this is an alien planet, and its ecosystem isn't accustomed to the presence of human life. It's an alien nature to the humans, literally untouched by industrialization or technological modifications of any kind. Logically speaking, there isn't a place for humans in this harmonic biodiversity. Therefore, our characters are constantly at the mercy of this giant, almost magical ecosystem that has no regard for their species. However, even though the nature of this planet is unfamiliar and thus unpredictable, the lack of gear forces the scavengers to use the nature of the planet to traverse it. The only way these humans can overcome the challenges nature throws at them is by figuring out how to use the natural elements at their disposal to survive. More than a connection, there's a communication between the scavengers and the nature of the planet, shown most brilliantly through the pollination scene. In this way, the story of Scavenger's Reign's focus lies on humanity's relationship and coexistence with nature, how we can be subservient to it and benefit from it at the same time. The philosophy permeating through Scavenger's Reign is that the hurt and the benefit we get out of nature are mutually inclusive, and one doesn't exist without the other. Nature is a danger to us and hurts us, but it also helps us or even heals us. Even more than Stand By Me, does Scavenger's Reign highlight that while nature is dangerous, it is also our source of healing and sustenance. By equating these two opposites of danger and healing to nature, You could say the show oxymoronically equates danger to healing, further emphasizing the importance of our interaction with nature. However, we really can't talk about cinematic depictions of humans interacting with nature without mentioning a certain anime studio. There are few movie studios that exude as deep a love for childhood and nature as Studio Ghibli. Princess Mononoke, My Neighbor Totoro, Castle in the Sky, Ponyo, Arrietty. There's not just a love, but a deep sense of longing for nature ingrained within these movies. This longing and almost grieving undertone of Studio Ghibli's movies stems from both Miyazaki's and Takahata's nostalgia for Japan's rural identity, before the country's westernization and rapid industrialization made a lot of Japan's traditions and landscapes a thing of the past. This nostalgia is topped off with typically having children or young adolescents as the main characters, experiencing their oftentimes magical adventures in bright summer days. Again, we see that summer aspect going hand in hand with childhood and nature. And while I think you could use just about any Ghibli movie to deconstruct these thematic connections, I think the movie that best summarizes all these sentiments is Kiki's Delivery Service. At the start of the movie, we see our main character, Kiki, relaxing in an ever-spreading meadow, the most peaceful plains you can imagine. Soon after, we learn she's actually a young witch, and she decides to embark on a ritualistic quest that every witch does at 13 years of age. She has to go find a town where she can serve as a witch, being a useful member of the community while also cultivating her powers. Friends and family gather around to see Kiki off, cheering her on during her departure. And it's at this point in the movie you're tricked into thinking, oh, this is a magical world with magical rules and magical characters. I can't wait to see what other kinds of wonder this movie has in store for me. But then, when Kiki lands at her town, you're slapped in the face with the crushing reality of urbanization. This isn't a magical world. Kiki is just an echo of a more magical time. There's no place for magic in this city. The world has moved on to cars and cops and money. So, if Kiki wants to find her place in this world, she'll have to toss her broom aside and scrub some floors to get by. Society and the mass populace have invented all these rules for everyone to adhere to, and that means there's no place for Kiki's unique talent of magic. The only thing Kiki's magic ends up being useful for is package delivery, and even that ability isn't always fully appreciated. It comes to the point that Kiki's own magic even starts to fade. She can't hear her cat anymore, she can't fly. Urbanized society literally blocks Kiki's magic. She's stuck in this structural framework telling her how to live, what to do, what to enjoy, what to long for, and by accustoming herself to it, Kiki loses the magic within herself, and she experiences a total loss of identity. It's only by going on a retreat into nature and indulging in creativity that she ends up partially retaining her magic. You may already have noticed it, but there's a new element getting introduced here, which I believe plays a huge role in the whole of the connections between childhood and nature and creativity and whatnot. And that element is magic. The element of magic is present in nearly every Ghibli film that focuses on young adolescents and nature, but the two movies that most heavily embody this link between nature and magic are Princess Mononoke and Pompoko. Both these movies are centered around magical spirits of nature and how they're being driven to extinction by humanity. The developments of industrialization, urbanization, and indifference to the extermination of nature harms the magical creatures of the world. Instead of revering nature, humans have started to see it as something to conquer, something that belongs to them, something they can take away from all they need and give nothing in return. These developments of human society are making magic a thing of the past, something that echoes through these worlds but fades more and more with each passing day. In Kiki's Delivery Service, witches aren't just rare, they're the only part of this world that isn't like our own. As I said, it's like Kiki herself is from a different world, an older world with more magic. You get the sense that magic might have once been prevalent in this world, but over the decades, or perhaps even centuries, its presence has faded, and now we're in an age where only old people seem to remember and cherish the sight of witches, and if they remember it, it's only vaguely. But to the younger generation who grew up in the confines of concrete, witches are either the stuff of legend or something totally forgotten. You could say that some things that should not have been forgotten were lost. History became legend. Legend became myth. And for 2,500 years, the ring passed out of all knowledge. The Lord of the Rings' whole deal is that it's a fantasy tale set in a world where magic is slowly disappearing. The story of the Lord of the Rings actually takes place at the tail end of this millennia-long waning of magic, and so our heroes of the Fellowship come across all these memories of an older world, echoes of a world filled with magic. Unrecognizable ruins of once great buildings, coveted magical habitations standing on their last fragile legs, lost artifacts and treasures scattered across the world, all hinting at greater ages long past. All these inklings of forgotten glory make the world of Middle-earth feel like it's in a state of regression, and has been for a long time. This waning of magic feels like something quietly yet deeply sad, because it's presented like the world is being reduced to something lesser. I'll get back to that in a second, but I should note that just like in Studio Ghibli, within the world of Tolkien, the things that are killing this magic are the same things that kill nature. Industrialization kills nature and kills magic. Urbanization kills nature and kills magic. The Ents attacking Isengard is the perfect representation of coalescence between nature and magic, fighting back against the things that destroy them. So, the world of Middle-earth is losing its magic, and magic is practically a metaphorical equivalent for nature. Just like the elves are leaving, the Ents are getting old and will soon be extinct. The loss of magic and nature is decaying the world, draining it of wonder and greatness. And the things that are replacing it, like technological advancements, urbanized societies, and industrial development, are making the world more dark and soulless. It's the complete opposite of our contemporary belief of progress. Almost like Tolkien is making the argument that by straying away from the purity of nature, we are straying away from our own humanity. From our roots, if you will. In The Lord of the Rings, magic and nature don't just share a connection, they're synonymous with each other, treated like they're one and the same. Just think of the magical woods of Lothlorien, the city intertwined with the forest, or the last homely home of Rivendell, another refuge of the elves built into the valley of Brunnen, using the walls of the Misty Mountains as support for the architecture. Juxtapose those against the cities of men, these artificial wooden or concrete castles and societies, and you immediately notice that nature bears this magical radiance in The Lord of the Rings. Much like Hayao Miyazaki and Isao Takahata, the directors of Studio Ghibli, Tolkien too is nostalgic for a world filled with nature and magic. But what exactly is magic? And why is it always linked to the past, something to be nostalgic for? It's almost like there's a link not just between magic and the innocence of the world, but the innocence of childhood. OMORI is a video game that takes place in one consciousness but two worlds, a dream world and a real world. The character you play as even has a different name for each world, those names being OMORI for the dream world, or headspace as the game calls it, and Sunny for the real world. Only OMORI, the dream world version of your character, is 4 years younger than Sunny is in the real world. And so the game makes it clear that Headspace isn't just a dream world, it's a world of dreamlike nostalgia, a nostalgia to Sunny's own childhood. I'm simplifying it a lot because I don't really want to spoil too much of the game, and I think everyone should be able to experience this game for themselves. But I do want to focus on the way Sunny's nostalgia to his childhood is depicted in this game, because I think OMORI has one of the most masterful depictions of an imaginative kid's experience of the world. As I said, Headspace, the world of Sunny's imagination, is a dreamlike, pastel-colored world where you experience various exciting adventures with your friends. You encounter different silly characters to interact with and enemies to battle, but as you continue playing the game and start making your way through the real world, every so often you start to notice the references from Headspace, real-world parallels of things that appear in Sunny's nostalgic dream world. For example, this teenage space pirate you battled on a floating island in Headspace is actually just a video game mascot in the real world. Or this massive, vibrant, colorful playground with all these different little critters and fun characters in Headspace is actually just a pretty underwhelming, trash-littered playground where homeless people reside in the real world. A lot of the events, characters, and areas from Headspace are all derived from the real world, but in Headspace, everything has a more whimsical, magical feel to it. It makes sense because you're a teen remembering his childhood as this colorful fantasy world, and in comparison, the real world feels kind of lackluster and depressing. The main reason I'm bringing up OMORI in this video is because I think the entire concept and aesthetic of Headspace is just so perfect. It illustrates that childhood feeling and worldview of wonder so indescribably well. As a kid, all these imaginary magical things feel way more real to you. It's the blending of imagination and reality, fixating on parts of the world that spark your joy and wonder, and omitting what limits or spoils it. And I think that's what magic really is. It's an unstructured view of the world. It's not fully understanding the world yet, and being able to fill in your own meaning where none has already been filled in for you. It's also why the structures of urbanization, industrialization, and scientific progress are elements that eradicate magic, because they all introduce rules to adhere to. However, a child doesn't have a full understanding of the world yet, the laws of physics, the social constructs we adhere to, and I think, for that reason, only children can experience the world magically. Hence why the fading of magic is oftentimes paired with the fading of childhood. Magic is a type of creativity that hasn't been directed by the confines of reality yet, a boundless worldview that only comes with the innocence and ignorance of childhood. And therein lies the idea that ties the whole of nature, creativity, and childhood together. It's all connected through magic. Being able to view the world in your own unique way, seeing it in your own colors. Of course, as adults, we can't just ignore bits of the world we don't like and live in a world of imagination. As adults, we have to deal with a reality that can sometimes be a bit ugly. But as a kid, on top of having an underdeveloped brain, you have an underdeveloped understanding of the world. Even more than that, you have an unstructured view of the world. You don't fully understand the boundaries of the world yet. No, as a kid, you live in a world where anything is possible, where the only limits are your own creativity. A hot summer day of your childhood. You're roaming the woods, collecting materials for your adventure, building a shelter, fighting off the evil magical creatures that are coming to attack you. As a video game, Minecraft is the perfect emulation of what it means to be a child in nature. But you're not in nature. You're not out in the woods earning scratches from the branches you pick off the ground, or carefully watching your footing as you're climbing a tree. You're just sitting behind your computer, probably inside. And while the world on your screen might seem as boundless and ruleless as the world outside, in here, everything is made of blocks. Minecraft likes to act like it has no rules, and that the only limit is your own creativity. But this is a blatant lie. It's a video game. Per definition, it has a design, rules to adhere to, things you can and can't do. Sure, you can't do anything, if by anything you mean making constructions of the blocks the game has in its inventory, fighting the mobs the game designated as hostile, crafting items the game programmed to be craftable. Per definition, total freedom within a designed game is impossible. Yet, at the same time, Minecraft has this weird existential character that mimics real life exactly because the game lets you be so free through its design. Have you ever had that feeling where you really wanted to play some Minecraft, so you boot up your world, walk around a bit, and suddenly you get hit with this overwhelming existential depression because you don't know what you actually want to do in the game? Unlike most other video games, Minecraft will not per se tell you what to do, just like life itself will never tell you what to do to at any given moment. It's you yourself who has to fill in this existential hole with your own purposes and meaning, whether that's building a castle or killing the Ender Dragon. The actual point of the gameplay is up to you. So you could argue Minecraft challenges and strengthens your creativity, right? Yeah, it does, but it's complicated. Earlier, while talking about Stand By Me, I said the relationship between children and nature is one of challenge. This challenge isn't just a physical one, but a mental one too. In nature, kids will have to figure out for themselves how to have fun. Much like Minecraft, the forest isn't gonna tell me how to enjoy myself. I'll need to seek my own source of stimulus. So I might scour the woods for bugs, or obsess over the cruel reality of animals eating each other. In truth, the game of Minecraft was born out of a child's relationship with nature and the creative inspiration that came with it. There's a chance that that's the reason why Minecraft aspires to impose as little boundaries on the player as possible. Nevertheless, regardless of how free Minecraft wants you to feel, it will still only ever be able to challenge your creativity within the boundaries of the game. And therein lies the difference between structured and unstructured play, and how it can lead to different expressions of creativity. For example, look at this cool stick I found. It's a really fucking cool stick. If I use my imagination, it can be a sword, it can be a spear, it can be a magic staff, it can be a bow and arrow. The power of the stick is only limited to my own imagination. Now, over here, we've got an awesome sword. Look at how fucking cool this sword is. No one in my entire grade has got a sword this cool. It's even got my name engraved on the hilt. I don't know if you can read that. It's a really cool sword. However, say I'm fighting my enemies and I'm slaying monsters, and suddenly I realize there's a guy over there I want to kill and I should switch to a bow and arrow. Well, I can't, because this is a sword. It's specifically designed to be played with as a sword, and it can't be anything else. Where the stick challenges my own personal, metaphorical and creative thinking, the sword has already done the imagination part for me, and limits me to the structure of its designer. In the same way, you can put hours and hours and hours into Minecraft and become a really good builder, or get really good at redstone, or get good at whatever else the game lets you do. But this creativity will still always stay inside the confines of Minecraft, and when you leave those confines, that creativity won't serve you. Now, this doesn't inherently mean that that type of creativity isn't useful. If I had spent some more hours in Minecraft, who knows, I might have actually become a successful Minecraft YouTuber when I was 14, but it still isolates you from the real open world and all your untampered potential creativity you could unlock there. This also counts for Pokemon or Attack on Titan or literally any other piece of media, I guess. And that's not to say indulging in media is inherently bad for your creativity. It can be a great source of inspiration. However, I do believe there is some danger in hyperfixating on specific fictional worlds and losing yourself in them completely. And that's why personally, I think the Minecraft movie is unironically a great movie.
What the fuck did he
That
just
is single-handedly
say?
the worst
video
opinion
essay
I've
is
ever heard.
once
I can't
again,
believe
what
I
a
respected
shitty
him.
take.
Hold up! Let me finish.
Minecraft's from Sweden, you idiot.
I genuinely loved the Minecraft movie when I went to watch it. And not even because of the, you know... cinema experience. Yes, conceptually the movie is a cash grab with self-aware, post-ironic comedy. But I think we've gotten so turned off from Hollywood doing self-aware jokes that we forgot the reason why we get turned off by them. It's because it indicates a lack of effort. And when I look at a Minecraft movie, I see effort. Every single actor is giving it their all. A lot of the jokes are genuinely funny, and while they may not have nailed our hopes for the aesthetic, they definitely went all in on their own vision. Anyway, the reason I'm bringing this up is because the movie ends with Steve returning to the real world, stepping away from the artificial, meaningless creativity within the world of Minecraft. Not only is this something incredibly bold to do as a supposed marketing movie, It also came across as unexpectedly profound, and anyone who has ever sat through the ending credits of Minecraft will know that this is the exact same message the game leaves you with. But for those who don't know, after you beat the Ender Dragon in Minecraft and jump into the portal to go back home, the game delivers you a long prose poem, a dialogue, supposedly between two omnipotent/omniscient beings that are fully beyond the understanding of the player. And well, I can promise you their words were beyond my understanding when I first read them as a child.
Words make a wonderful interface, very flexible, and less terrifying than staring at the reality behind the screen.
Although you are reading the dialogue as a text, the beings show that this is but a semantic adjustment to communicate with you. But still, this communication is within the confines of a game, and there are so many things you can't simply learn from playing a game.
No, it has not yet achieved the highest level. That it must achieve in the long dream of life, not the short dream of a game.
Really, the game refers to itself as but a short dream, one you can only learn so much from. It's in the long dream of life that your true challenges and purposes await. But that is not something these beings tell you about, because that's
too strong for this dream. To tell them how to live is to prevent them living.
It's not a matter of a stick and a sword. It's a matter of the world and a mere projection of it. It's a matter of freedom. And ever so slowly, looking at the text on your screen, you start to feel yourself becoming aware that you are.
Take a breath now. Take another. Feel air in your lungs. Let your limbs return. Yes, move your fingers. Have a body again, under gravity, in air. Respawn in the long dream. There you are, your body touching the universe again, at every point. As though you were separate things. As though we were separate things.
And you begin to remember that there is so much more beyond this projection.
And sometimes, the player believed the universe had spoken to it through the sunlight that came through the shuffling leaves of the summer trees.
Until the beings start calling themselves the universe, and you the player.
And the universe said, I love you.
And the universe said you have played the game well.
And the universe said, everything you need is within you.
And the universe said you are stronger than you know.
And the universe said, you are the daylight.
And the universe said you are the night.
And the universe said, the darkness you fight is within you.
And the universe said the light you seek is within you.
And the universe said, you are not alone.
And the universe said you are not separate from every other thing.
And the universe said, you are the universe, tasting itself, talking to itself, reading its own code.
And the universe said, I love you because you are love.
And the game was over, and the player woke up from the dream. And the player began a new dream. And the player dreamed again, dreamed better. And the player was the universe. And the player was love. You are the player.
Wake up.